What's up everyone, I'm Matei and welcome back to a science-based fitness channel. When I started this storytelling video, the last one I posted actually, I decided to do a video on both my careers, both track and field and personal training career, but then it kind of dawned on me the fact that it's probably gonna be too long. So I decided to split it in two. So this is about my personal training career, how it started, how it developed, and basically my opinion so far, both my opinion and Chloe's opinion. She's my dog for a few days now, so she's always assisting me with videos. She has really important input for me, and to be honest, I think she's at a different level than I am. She's speaking a language I can't understand, man. Was that a bad joke? Anyway, so I did that video, which was about track and field and pole vault career. A lot of things was left untold on that one, but I'm just gonna post stories and things as I remember them, throughout time. But today we're gonna talk about my personal training career and how it started and why I went that way. I actually had, different ideas as I was growing up. I wanted to be a doctor and a lawyer. These two were my first go-to choices, and I didn't pursue any of them. It's hard to find a palpable reason right now, but just sticking with sports and in this area of physical activity, it wasn't necessarily the easiest for me, but it made me be able to use both my knowledge, like my brain, my ability to understand biomechanics, anatomy, biology, and my ability to be good at physical activities. So combining those two and using them using both of them at the same time made sense for me to go in this direction. Being a doctor, it was I don't have any doctors or lawyers in my family, that I'm aware of, but it was something that I felt from reading was challenging and could have a big impact, especially being a doctor. I'm not saying lawyers are, not as good, but I mean, they're just different things. And from my opinion, health is a lot more important. And my perspective when it comes to the greater good has always been related towards life quality and, health aspects. Being a lawyer has also implications in that area, but not as direct as being, a doctor. So yeah, that's why I wanted to be a doctor. I just figured out that that's where I could really leave a mark, and yeah, that's probably it. But the reason I didn't go for that, I don't know exactly what it was, but I drifted away from that thought as I grew older, and my mind just became more and more occupied with daily life, with what I was doing in high school, what I was doing in track and field, when's my next competition, and so I finished sports-oriented high school, and after that I of course went to sports and science, and I finished that as well. That's uni. And before finishing that, I started working as a personal trainer at a low-level gym. I say low level just like because it was just one gym, and in comparison to the other gym chains in Romania, So I started there, but I was so lucky. So my first interview was at was at this gym, and I was nervous, but I kind of like in the same time I was a part of me was hoping that I wouldn't get it, you know, so that I can say that, you know, I tried getting a job, it didn't work out, so now I'm left with track and field, so I can just keep on focusing on doing that and just being always 100% at that training session and at that competition, and you know. But the fact that I was great in track and field, and the fact that I was close to finishing my studies at uni, and the fact that I was oriented towards learning about personal training, about fitness, about being a fitness instructor, and that's two different things. It helped me a lot, and the fact that I was open and I wasn't playing any games when I went to that interview helped a lot. But I think the most helped the fact that I didn't have any experience, you know. This guy that interviewed me, he was one of the greatest managers I've ever worked with. He was always recruiting people that had no experience so that he could educate them in that direction, you know. And he's done a great job. He's always put in that extra time to make sure that I understood everything and how things were going, and put a time in to present me to members and introduce me to the staff and make sure that I was fitting in and I wasn't feeling left out or uncomfortable, or you know. So it made a big difference. Once I saw how dedicated he was and how his work ethic was, I'm not gonna say like irreproachable or perfect, or you know, but he had high standards for himself. So if there's a person that has high standards for themselves, then I can get them on board with that person. If you require high standards but you're lacking them yourself, you know, we're not gonna work that much or that good. So yeah, I was really lucky, and I stayed there for about 8 months. I was able to learn a lot. I was able to evolve so much in those 8 months with just being at its side. And after that, I finished my personal training course, and you know, a bigger gym offered me a job. So I took it, went there, did a great job as well. I actually on the first gym that I didn't have that many clients because I was also supposed to stay and work the reception area. It was like a Fitness Express thing, so you would stay at the reception and with the members as well. So you wouldn't have time for that many clients, right? But I managed to do all right. I was having probably, I don't know, 4, 5, maybe 6 clients a day, so it wasn't that bad. But when I switched gyms, I was only doing that. I was only being a personal trainer, and that's it. And I remember I was having my first client at 6 a.m. It was this machine guy. He was never late. He was always present there. Like, he would miss for 6 months, I think he hasn't missed a session, not one. 6 months, like 3 times a week, every day, 6 a.m. Not one session missed, you know. And when he wasn't training with me, he was doing a cycling class. He was great. So I was starting with him, and then I was having clients up until I think 12 or 1 in the afternoon, no breaks, and then a couple hour breaks so I could train, maybe eat something really quick, and then another client, break again, and probably 4 more clients. So I was probably averaging out at, you know, I'd say 8 clients, 9 clients a day for 6 days a week, that is. I was working on Saturdays as well. I was really excited. I was making more money, so that fueled me, that gave me motivation, that gave me energy. It was new to me, and also this is the most important thing. That, like, this made me feel alive, and this made me get attached to this job so much. people were so grateful whenever I was helping them with a problem they were having, like I don't know, maybe a back injury, or they just sprained their ankle. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. Let's just say they just had surgery and they needed. I mean, they were just passionate about sport and they wanted to come back as soon as they could. So I was helping them with that as well. Um, I was have actually I was there at that gym with my best friend, and he finished physiotherapy at uni, and we were both kind of like bouncing ideas off of each other, and the whole team was so receptive, and we were really well bonded, you know. So we had just a blast working there. Clients knew them, like knew each other, and trainers were getting along really well. So just going there, it was really fun, and making money out of it, that's a plus. And the fact that people were so receptive and they were so grateful for your knowledge, and they would appreciate it so much when you would take 5 extra minutes out of your time to just stay with them and explain it to them. They were really grateful for that, and I think that actually motivated me to become better, you know. I still wanted that idea, because um, I still wanted that attention. I mean, I gotten used to that from track and field, and I wanted it here as well. I wanted here to be the best as well. Um, I managed really well there, and soon after that, I went to that European Championship that I was telling you about, and got that offer from that UK club. Went there, and I immediately, after a month or so, I spent a month on a holiday in London, and then I switched it up to another town. It's called Cheltenham, and there I applied to the biggest gym there was there. I just went there, applied. That's that, easy. And I stayed there for about a year, probably 9 months or so, altogether. Yeah, it's probably 9 months or so. Anyway, quickly after I just joined, probably took me like 3-4 days until I had my first few clients. Probably in a week or so I had 4 clients, I think. And of course, one of them was at 6 a.m. But I'm not taking 6 a.m. anymore. That's too much. You know. But I was excited to see what a big club like that. They have like 160 clubs around the world. That's a big gym chain, you know. So I was excited to work with them. I was excited to collaborate and see exactly what challenges that may bring. I was a little bit surprised. I was expecting, I mean, from my opinion, you're living in such a big and wealthy country like England, and you have access to, you know, a lot more research. You have access to a lot more fresh information, and that information, I mean, it reaches Romania probably, I don't know, like after 3 years or so. So the information in UK is 3 years, and in terms of fitness, is about 3 years in front of us, in front of Romania, and then the fitness trends and habits and principles and all that, they're probably like 5 years ahead of us. So yeah, I was excited to see exactly what that might bring for me and what it could do to my personal training career, and how is it going to change me as a professional in this industry. But yeah, I was saying I was surprised by the fact that you know, trainers there were not that, they were not that great as I pictured them. I think it's my fault actually, because I had high expectations. I was actually expecting to learn from them, but they were just as the trainers in Romania, just as good, you know. They had really good ones, and then they had really bad ones, and that's that. I mean, there was no significant difference between me and them. The only thing was that they had the British accent and I didn't. But you know, I speak good English, and I mean, my looks helped a lot there. I'm not saying this. They told me that my looks help a lot. They told me that because I have blue eyes and my hair has an open color. It's like a brighter. It leans a little bit towards blonde. They said that it made it easier for me to fit in. I didn't find that to be very, how should I put it, friendly from their part, and I wasn't too happy with it, and for sure it didn't make me grow any more comfortable or closer to them. But I just waved past it. I didn't care about it. I was doing my thing. I was there for a reason, and I wasn't gonna let any of that just get in my way. And you know, a few things like that just happened there, you know. And after I left there, I found a few things that they were talking about me behind my back that I'm just to be honest, actually they didn't know that I was competing there for a while. They found out because I was in a newspaper, I was in a in a magazine there as well. I was brewing a deal with Superdry. They wanted me to show off their clothes, but that didn't happen because well, I just came back to Romania, you know, and I had to pass that out. Yeah, so I don't think they knew, but anyway, as I evolved there, I got, like, the manager there was good, so I had no problems with him, and he was a really good guy. We joked a lot. You could talk to him about anything, and but he knew, like, he gave me good pointers on how to handle my business, and I was happy with that. And I was actually at some point seeking his advice because it was hard to balance my career as a personal trainer and my career as a track and fielder, you know. Even though they were close to each other in terms of distance, it was still hard to juggle with it. But a good thing is they were open to, like, shifting their hours and things like that, so that will help me get my trainings in. Yeah, so I was there for about 4 months with that gym, I think, and they offered me a free first aid course, which I basically aced. So we were around 20 trainers there, 20 personal trainers, and they picked, I think, 6 of us, and they would just pay for that first aid. The company would pay for it, and then the other ones who wanted to participate, they would have to pay for themselves. So I was lucky, and they picked me, and I wasn't supposed to pay, and I got the highest point in all Fitness First clubs. It was the first time I was doing it, but I really paid attention, and we had this great trainer, and he just, I don't know how he did it, because first aid courses are usually really boring, but he made it so fun and interactive that he had my attention for the whole 2 days, man. And we did water training, and basically we did everything, because it took 2 days and it was really in depth, you know. And then I got another free course, which was powerlifting, and they had their national, what was he? I forgot his name, but he was their CrossFit national champ. So they got him to teach us how to do, like, snatch, cleans, clean and overhead press and all that. So yeah, but you know, from track and field, like, I was really used to those exercises. I was really good at them, but it brought so many new perspectives from what I can choose to teach them to my clients. And I actually did do it with a few of my clients. and they liked it. It was a dynamic exercise, nobody else was doing it, and they felt their results. Like powerlifting is a powerful tool if you know how to use it and you know how to adjust the doses, and obviously if you know how to warm up properly and then stretch. It puts a strain on the body if you're not careful. So make sure you have somebody alongside you to teach you or to support you, or just, I don't know, just keep an eye on you, you know. After I was done with England, I came back to Romania at the same gym I was before I left, but at a different club. And I stayed there for 2 years until again somebody else made me a better offer. But before I left, I managed, so probably the clients I had when I started after coming back to Romania, they were the ones I finished with. So, you know, another thing you need to look in a personal trainer, if you're looking for one, is look for the guy who always has the same clients. The ability to hold on to your clients is basically the brightest resume you could have. So in personal training, clients, they're everywhere, and you can always, like, you know, give somebody a free session and then they'll just keep on coming because you're fun, because this or that, for whatever reason. But the trick is not to sell them the first 10 sessions. The trick to being a really good personal trainer is to constantly keep on training them. And this goes a little bit beyond looking at this just as a business. It goes to a place where, you know, you imagine yourself taking your car to the dealership, and then, or I don't know, you take it into the repair shop, right? And then you're thinking, okay, maybe was it a good choice to take it to this dealership, to this repair shop? You don't know, but you're hoping not to get scammed, right? So in a place where people sometimes end up having bad personal trainers and end up having injuries, a lot of my clients have told me that they had a personal trainer for like 3 years, 5 years, it doesn't matter how many years, and then they, you know, I'm not used to doing this exercise because my I wasn't doing it with my personal trainer because it would hurt my back. After I started training with this guy or this girl, I had just, I don't know, knee problems, or my shoulders started to hurt. Well, not all, like, my clients never had pain. They have soreness. They might end up with I don't know, discomfort in their joints if they just started. But all this have an explanation, and if you're doing this for a while, you understand why they're happening, and you're able to meet that how should I put it, that worry they might have before they even have it, right? So you're able to squash it before it grows. If you just say to them, look, after today's session you might feel soreness, you might feel a little bit of pain here, but that's normal because you just started training, your muscles tend to tense up a bit and they pull on your joints, which is perfectly normal. It's gonna go away in a day or two. Keep on training, trust me, and everything's gonna be fine. If you're able to say this, and you say it because you know it and because you trust your knowledge, by all means do it. And for everyone that's looking for a personal trainer, I would say that these are the explanations you should look into when you're choosing a personal trainer. Somebody that has their clients for a long period of time, somebody that doesn't just train them for like a month or two and then they change them. Because believe me, it's not always the personal trainer that's choosing who they're training. We We sometimes choose who are we training, but most of the times the client just leaves the personal trainer if something is happening. So if they have like a family emergency, if they have like a work job thingy thing, they might leave for like, I don't know, a month, let's say 2 months if they're traveling, if they have like a health problem, but then they return, right? They go back to the same personal trainer because they know they had good results. They had a good report built together. That personal trainer knows and takes into consideration, that client's particularities, if you like. And that's a big thing, because it means that you're treating, as a personal trainer, you're treating your clients individually. And that is actually why this is called personal training and personal trainer, right? Because before you start training, you're supposed to have a discussion. You're supposed to tell everything you know about yourself in terms of sports history, injury history, and goals. So that way, the personal trainer knows what type of exercises your body knows, is used to, and should know, and what type of exercises, if you have any injuries, should you avoid or insist upon. And when it comes to your goal, he will know exactly which training principle is most useful. Now, something else that's really important is how available your personal trainer is. Now, obviously, we all have personal lives, and believe you me, I'm a big fan of that. And in my time off, I don't always reply really fast to my clients, but that's because I don't reply really fast to anyone. Like, my phone is always on silent, and although I check it often, sometimes I might miss some messages. But during the week, my phone is always with me. I've got a smartwatch and it's alerting me whenever somebody's sending me a message or, you know, anything like that. So availability is something that is going beyond that gym training session that you have with your personal trainer, you know? So let's say you're home, you're sitting in your couch, you're watching something, or you just finished eating, and you know, you feel like a muscle is a little bit pulled maybe, or too tense, or your lower back is hurting a bit, or I don't know, your shoulders are in pain, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You just send a text and see what that personal trainer says. If he comes with more questions that might lead him towards a solution, then you know you have a good one. If he comes up with how should I put it, with a reason for why you should not worry, when there's actually in fact reasons to worry. So if he's dismissive, I mean, so yeah, that's actually the word. If he's dismissive, like let's say he says, oh yeah, don't worry, it's no problem, then I don't know. In some cases that's available, and I have said that to my clients. But you say that to clients who are more experienced, and clients who know you better, and clients with whom you already established that you know what you're doing, and they should not worry with these things because you have everything handled. And in this case, if you say, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay, end of discussion, right? If you have a good report with that client, you should definitely not worry. But if he's just saying, yeah, you know, everything's gonna be okay, so don't worry about it, but he's saying that all the time and it's not okay, then it wouldn't be a bad idea to start interviewing different personal trainers. And in today's society, like in today's daily life, probably I like to say, a lot of people, and it's a growing business, it's growing so fast and the demand is huge. Like my gym was actually looking out for personal trainers, and we barely managed to find 2. So, you know, but good ones, you know. These days, you know, the personal training industry is growing out so fast, and a lot of people tend to have a personal trainer. So some of them might have a personal trainer for a while, for a few years, but that doesn't mean you have a good personal trainer. You're playing with your health, you know. By the end of the day, you might not have any pain, but you need to make sure that that personal trainer, both literally and the other one, they have your back. So, you know, literally and figuratively, I can't pronounce it right now. I can pronounce it in my head though. Yeah, so make sure they have your back. Other than that, I mean, you can have like common sense, you know, that helps a lot as well. So see exactly how his posture is, see exactly how polite and how well behaved and educated he is, because discipline and commitment to the job has a big impact on how he's gonna treat you on the long term. If he's always moving out your hours, if he's always canceling on you in short notice, probably that's not a good fit for him. Not being a good fit for him, it's not gonna be a good fit for you either, right? So try and take that into consideration, and when you're looking at your personal trainer or when you're choosing one, just judge by these criteria and see if he meets any of them. Anyway, I think we're getting a little bit off topic. I was talking about me right now. Anyway, so after 2 years from when I came back to Romania, after 2 years in this gym, another well, actually it's not a gym, it's a whole country club, something really big here in Romania. It's actually the biggest and brightest and whatever you want to call it country club and gym in Romania. It's the only country club, but it's like the best gym. They made me an offer as well, and I said, you know, I was having such a great deal where I was, that the only way I was leaving that place is if I was going there. So there was no other gym in Romania that could make me an offer and I would take it, you know. That's the only way I was leaving from there. So it happened, and guess what? I'm still working with my best friend. He had nothing to do with that. It just sort of happened, and up until this day, we have never worked in a different gym in Romania. I guess we were just lucky. I mean, when I came back to Romania and I wanted to rejoin my older gym, I made a special request that I would be in the same club as him, just because it would be a little bit more comfortable for me, and there's gonna be like a familiar face and all that. And yeah, it turns out I did a good. I made a good choice. Yeah, so now I'm here for the past, I think it's like 6-7 months or so. But for the past week, I have been an online personal trainer. With this coronavirus, it's no joke, and we're basically supposed to be indoors, but I absolutely had to go out today. And you know, people are not that, their civic sense is not that well educated, and they were just out and about, you know, they were just out about their business. They were not staying at home. They were not taking care of the society as they were supposed to, and they were not concerned about their loved ones, that they may catch the coronavirus and just pass it along to their friends and family. They didn't care. I think that's selfish. And I think you should take a really good look in the mirror and start judging yourself. Because out with the politeness, I am judging you. If you're going out for no reason, I'm judging you. And it's not a good judge, like, oh well, he's making some really good decision. No, you're basically really dumb. And that's me not cursing because my girlfriend is right. She's really close and she doesn't like it when I curse. And the dog is sleeping and I don't want to wake him up, you know? So yeah, coronavirus is no joke, and it had me indoors for a week. I'm going a little bit crazy. It's really boring, you know? But other than that, it's fine. I'm healthy. I was just joking. I'm healthy and all my loved ones are healthy, and that's a good thing. Yeah, so that's about it about my personal training career, and it's still developing. I still have a lot to learn, and of course, when it comes to the human body, you know, it's a never-ending story, and you always have to learn something new and then brush up on the things you already know, because you learn a lot of things that you don't use, and then after, I don't know, let's say 3-4 years, comes along a client who would take advantage of that information that you read on like 6 years ago but you never used, right? So you got to brush up on that because you forgot it, you never used it. So, you know, it is what it is. It's a great job from my point of view, and at the end of the day, I'm really happy with it. I'm working with amazing people. I have amazing clients, and they're happy that I'm delivering them quality information, and I'm making sure that their needs are covered. And the other side of the coin is that we get to talk about them, you know? Like when I'm with a client, I ask him questions. What do you do? How was work today? What did you eat? How's your family? How's that? How's this? And you know, we get closer and closer, and with most of them I would go as far as I'd say friends. And their life experience, because we spend like, I don't know, let's say maybe 3 hours a week together, their life experience, I get to take advantage of that. And although we spend that time training and discussing about fitness and all that, during breaks we always have time, or just online, you know, we always have a little bit time for like personal talk. And they know about me, they know about my life and stuff like that, and I get to find out about them as well. And they come with greater life experience than me, because they are probably older than me, so you know, they had more time on earth, so they've seen, heard, and talked about more things than I did. And I think that's another way I can take advantage of my job, other than the pay, other than just being in a clean and stress-free environment. I mean, for real, we listen to music. We're probably 10 times a day I'm dancing while I'm with my clients, and yeah, it's just great. I mean, I have no reason to complain, but I'm obviously complaining because that's just how we are. Because I start really early and then I finish late, and you know, it's tiring. But this time at home, luckily with coronavirus, I was able to reconnect again with this passion. Not reconnect again, just reconnect with this passion with my job, and just made me realize how great it is, and I have a great gig going on, you know. Most of the people out there, they're just still trying to figure out their way. they are still worried about what they're gonna do with their life, and they are the same age as me, you know. So I'm lucky to have found something that I'm looking forward to every day, you know. And again, I don't believe in God, but I'm fairly sure that there's a deity or an entity out there just pushing the buttons. And I think when coronavirus hit, I think they spilled coffee all over their keyboard or something. So that's what I think about coronavirus. It's either a mistake or some fucked up people did some nasty shit. Yeah, I can already sense my girlfriend eyeing me because I cursed. Yeah. That's about it for now about my personal training career, and I think I gave a little bit choose your personal trainer 101. But stay tuned in. I'm gonna do more vlogs like this. I'm gonna do more videos like this where I talk about track and field, where I talk about I actually have experience in working with kids. I did a year at after school, and I'm gonna talk about that soon. So I'll just keep on doing vlogs like this. Stay tuned, and when it comes to fitness, you know my channel. Other than that, see you guys online.